Hi, thank you for watching Bougie Bayou Witches podcast. I'm Toni, the host, and this is
Kamona, the co-host.
And this is
I'm Destiny, aka Love, and I'm the guest for today.
Yay! All right, hi, I'm your host Toni, and this is
Kamona, the co-host.
And this is
Destiny, aka Love.
I want you all to like, subscribe, and share. The links are below, and this is available on YouTube and all podcast platforms. So come on, make sure y'all like it, subscribe, and share it. On today's topic, we'll be talking about a little intro of ourselves on how we got started, which is me, Toni, the host, and
Kamona, the co-host.
And also we can include my guest,
Destiny.
And so we'll be talking a little bit about the importance of our ancestors as well after our intro. Hello, I'm Toni, I'm the host, and I'm gonna just give you a little bit of intro on how I got started with spirituality. I know a lot of people probably wondering, how did this lady sit here and, just start out with this metaphysical shop and everything. So basically, when I was a child, I was really drawn and interested in like horoscopes. I was really interested in spirit boards and things like that. So yes, while I was young, I was playing with them. It also kind of taught me how to communicate with spirits and stuff a little bit as well. And so, as I got older, I kind of kept it in the background. I didn't want any and everybody knowing what I do. But I would say around 2020, I had a close childhood friend of mine, as well as a brother, tell me, you need to come out. You need to, let the world know what you do. And that's when I decided that I was ready to kind of become a little bit more open with the spirituality and kind of go more in depth and learn more about it. And of course, last year, my ancestors came to me in a dream, and that's when I opened my metaphysical shop. So that's basically how I'm here, because they came to me, they was ready for me to put this spiritual podcast out. So that is Toni.
And hi, everyone. I'm Kamona, and I started my spiritual journey about 3.5, 4 years ago. It was just different signs and clues leading me to just be more free-spirited, not live in a shell, not live in this box. Society teaches us that, we should be just in this box and, not kind of be afraid to, show who we truly are. So along on my spiritual journey, I just started seeing signs and synchronicities and just started linking up with different people that, gave me a lot of knowledge. I consider myself to be a healer, a mentor. I'm also a tarot reader. I can read intuitively energies, from different people. So basically, that's my journey, and I'm ready to talk about it.
And I'm Destiny, and I started mine just about the same, probably about 3 or 4 years ago. And I just realized that what I was currently doing wasn't working for me. So as I started to do more research and just started delving more inside, I understood where that journey was taking me more within than without. And that's how I kind of got started with all the things I do. Right now, I am Magical Destiny, and I do life coaching, which is more like what all my clients call me as their spiritual bestie. So they really don't have to feed into me. I'm more of a listener, and I just guide them. For me, there's a no judgment zone. So when you come to me, we're going to find out what is the issue that you're dealing with. What is holding you back? Why are you still holding it on? And then we're going to figure out how to work through that journey, because that's what happened with me. I had to work through my own journey to figure out what to let go, how to let go, and to come out and be that person that I wanted to be and walk in purpose.
Yes.
Y'all can get into it. Be ready.
Okay. All right, today our topic is going to be spirituality versus religion. And we know this is a very, very important topic because we get a lot of people that come in with different backgrounds and they want to know more about how does spirituality play out? What is spirituality? And so we're going to basically be talking about that on today's podcast.
So what led you into spirituality? What started you on your journey? Different people, go through different ascensions and wake up calls. What led you to your spiritual journey?
I knew this was my calling. Ever since I was young, I was interested in it. I can honestly say I did attend the Kingdom Halls. My parents were Jehovah's Witnesses, and they still are. And I wasn't really drawn to it, sad to say. I wasn't. I was different. And I knew as I got older that spirituality was definitely my calling.
So, do you believe that Jehovah's Witness is considered a cult? I hear people, I've been a few times, but I don't know much about the background. Tell me about that.
I'll just be honest. I kind of feel like it is because the way that they have people not practicing and doing all this stuff. Like as far as the pagan holidays and stuff like that, I don't have a problem with not celebrating that because I don't even celebrate it now. Me being spiritual. But I just feel like a lot of the things they have them program or have them to say, it plays a factor to make me wonder, is it a cult? So
what about you, Destiny?
think so.
I don't know much about it. I've always had those people come to the door and some stuff like that. So but we have discussion. I'm telling y'all,
Saturday mornings be sleeping good and
come to the door. One time we invited them in and had a whole discussion.
What did y'all talk about?
I mean, just the differences in it. You know what I mean? And like they had to agree to disagree and listen.
So were they able to educate you on anything?
Absolutely not. But we was educating them.
Okay.
That's why they decided it was time to go, because I know they had further questions that they was like, oh, okay, maybe
it's time to go.
It's time to go. Yeah.
Right.
If you wanted to knock on the door, let's talk about it.
Okay, so let's discuss like some of the benefits, like your background basically before we do discuss the benefits. Like what is your background when it comes to religion and spirituality?
My take on it is, religion, I just consider a lot of religion people, not everybody, to be in a box, like, programmed to not be able to do certain things, or if you do certain things, it's a sin against God.
Correct.
And I think we are on this planet. We're all humans and we are here to have human-like experiences. Of course, we need to grow in the process. That's the reason why we go through trials and errors and make mistakes.
Yes.
But, we free-spirited. We're here to make mistakes. We're here to learn, to grow, to ascend.
Right.
As human beings. And I just think
So do you feel like since you were in a religion, do you feel that they're judgmental sometimes?
Some of them
toward
are.
us?
Some of them are because, if I explain to people, what I do, before even asking me, questions about, anything that the gifts that was presented to me from God, it's just, that's devil. That's devilish. That's divination. You got to go to hell. But just this is off top. Like, ask me questions. Get to know. Knowledge is power.
Very.
Yeah,
you got to educate their mind. And I know a lot of people, they just go by what their parents and their ancestors passed down to them. But they never went and did no deep research. They never went and read the books. They never went and watched videos or anything.
Right. And
but it's always about what mama told me, what grandma told me, what great grandma told me versus doing the research.
I was that way too when I was, because I was raised in the church. And, when, especially being from Louisiana, when you tell people, oh, I'm from Louisiana, they be like, oh, you into witchcraft. And I was just like, they always say that about, people from Louisiana. That's what we're known for. But, like I said, get to know, my background. Don't just judge based off of what I tell you. God gave me these gifts. And of course, I'm going to use them. If my gifts are able to help other people, then I'm going to use them.
Exactly.
Because for a long time, I was too afraid to use my gifts. I'm not afraid
out
anymore.
Out in the public, we were afraid to use them.
I was just like,
behind closed doors. Yes, I was.
But it's all the same if you really think about it. Like when people break down spirituality versus religion, some of the same things that are done in the church are done in the spirituality world.
Absolutely.
A lot of people pray. I still pray as well. But, spiritual people call it meditation.
Right.
So what's your take on it? Like your prayer life, do you pray and meditate, or do you just meditate? What do you do?
Well, I actually think for me, I would call my prayers as more like affirmations.
Okay.
Because I believe that whatever it is that I'm going to say is what's going to happen.
Exactly.
So my prayers are those that what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I'm speaking into existence what I want to happen. So I consider that a prayer. And my meditation time is that time to go within. With religion, I always felt like it was they teach you that something is on the outside of you.
Right. You have to pray this certain type of prayer to get to this outside person, or, get these things to happen. And I'm just like, no, if you just visualize what you want, these things will happen.
And whatever you want to call the Most High, God,
universe,
the universe, whatever you want to call it, it is within you.
Right.
It is within you. If you're looking out at the ocean, the vast ocean is powerful and is calming and relaxing, but it also can kill you. You know what I'm saying? But if you take a cup of water of that, is it not still the ocean? It's just inside of a vessel, correct?
Right.
So that is what God or the Most High is for you. You are just it inside of a vessel. So it makes no sense to think that it's on the outside of you. It's on the inside of you. So if it's all powerful, it's all knowing, it's all this and it's all that, then that is what you are. So you have to speak these things into existence, take control of your power. And walk in that. I think that it's like a victim mentality when you're believing that somebody's gonna come save you.
It really is.
Yeah.
And everything you just gotta keep praying and just keep praying and waiting and waiting. No, you gotta do something. You have to do something and take accountability. That's another thing. Change that mindset.
Because a lot of times I don't speak no names or anything like that, but I have people that, do go to church and stuff come to me and they've asked me questions and I will break things down and explain it to them, because first thing they think is we don't believe in Jesus, we don't believe in God. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't believe in Jesus, but I'm just saying,
how do you handle those people though? How do
we're all gods within, like goddesses and gods. So, it's not saying, oh, we don't believe in God, but we feel like we are the gods, you know what I'm saying? So, to each his own, because not everybody's going to agree with everything I say. But I normally call them the Most High or the universe is what I refer to my higher power as. But I just feel like religion and spirituality is the same. It's just people don't do their research. And so therefore they're going against and saying what we do is bad, but we're saying the same thing what y'all doing ain't real. So it's just all about sitting down, communicating, talking, and doing research.
Yeah, in the church, they take up offerings for, to help the church keep going, to make sure that the pastor and his family is well taken care of. That their bills and everything is covered in the church. So those are offerings to the church and to that leader of the church. And in spirituality, we take up offerings for our ancestors, for, the God and goddesses that we believe in. So it's really the same. It's just, people perspective.
Different terminology.
Exactly.
Different terminology.
People perspective.
I find a lot of the things that people really don't see is I know it's such a thing about the Bible. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to spirituality and with religion. A lot of people, when they jump into spirituality, they just be like, discard the Bible. And I can understand. I can understand. But really, a lot of that text was taken from ancient things, ancient stuff that was here way before.
To me, in certain parts of the Bible, I can't relate to it into the spiritual world. There are certain parts of the Bible I'm still trying to understand. Like,
exactly,
it's contradicting.
I understand that.
So I just yes, I believe in the Bible, but do I feel like it's man-made and words added?
I do. Absolutely.
Yes,
I mean, but on the Bible, the Bible that we're currently reading or that's currently out, it is called the King James Version, right? So that would mean that this person's view is what is in that Bible.
It's the King James version.
Exactly.
His version of that Bible.
Exactly. So there are texts that's probably missing, and there's probably some stuff in there that was added that didn't have nothing to do with what was it there originally.
Right.
So how do you feel about people who say that they don't believe in the Bible?
I mean, that's fine. But I believe everybody should go. It's your journey.
Right.
It's your journey.
That's I think for me, the biggest hurdle for me is people who always feel like you have to think exactly the way that they think. We can't just agree to disagree.
Exactly.
Like, I can't believe one way, you believe one way. We still can't communicate. And
what I mean? We still can get out here and manifest and make whatever it is we want to happen, or speak whatever we want to happen.
It's your journey. It's your journey. Your journey is not going to be the same as mine.
Right.
You may do more on your journey than I do on my journey.
Right. And if you need help and we have different views on the religion or the spirituality, that doesn't mean that I can't help you or understand or have empathy or, you know what I'm saying? But it's usually on the other end. Yeah. It's usually on the other thing. If you don't believe what I believe, then how can you help me?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And, you know, when I talk to people that, you know, want more knowledge in what I do and, you know, talks about different parts of my journey, you know, I always tell them, you know, it's a no judgment zone.
Right.
Because a lot of times, you know, religion people are judged too as well.
Yeah.
Right,
But spirituality, you know, you can speak 2 words and you already
judged
just by saying that you're spiritual.
Yes.
But you know what? I've come to learn, you know, by running my metaphysical store, that it's a lot of people who are religious that do the same thing. They come and they do spirituality. And they still attend church. And I don't knock them. I don't say, oh, you can't come in my store because you're going to. I'm not judging you. You're welcome. Because what you're doing, I can't stop and tell you don't do that. You're not doing the right thing. No. Who am I to sit here and tell you that?
You're not God. Only God can judge us.
Exactly.
That's
and
the
because
truth.
it's their journey. And I honestly can see how you would see the benefit, you know, like in the both of them, if that's what, if you're heavy in the church.
Right.
But then you can see the benefit of the spirituality. I can see how you combine them. I can see that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you would feel like you're getting the benefit of both worlds, which probably does help you.
And still to this day, I combine, because like I said, I was raised in the church. I still combine a lot of things that I learned in the church into my spiritual journey. Like I said, I pray and I meditate.
Right.
So, you know, I'm still learning and balancing out both sides. But one thing I learned that I was not taught being, you know, Christian or in the religion, that we all can live freely.
Yes.
Without being bound.
Having titles.
And having titles. We are all entitled to live freely.
Exactly.
How we want to live.
Exactly.
You know, no person's journey is better or greater or lesser than the other person.
I totally agree on that part, because some people be coming out here like, oh, if you don't do this and that, you're not truly spiritual. Oh, you're fake. Oh, y'all these new little spirituality
You
people,
fail to be spiritual. Like,
you just can't please nobody.
Exactly.
People always have their opinions and they're always talking.
We still going. It's like it's a journey. You know, we still making mistakes.
Exactly.
I make them every day,
all the time.
All the time. But it's something that I learned versus being a religion versus spiritual. You know, I'm not so hard on myself. Like, you know, I don't. If I mess up or do something, you know, I know to, you know, I still ask for forgiveness.
Right.
I still, you know, pray and just, you know, to be a better person. I'm not so hard on myself as, you know, when I was a Christian or in the religious world. Because, you know, I feel like I messed up. Like, you know, with being a Christian, I feel like I had to do everything perfectly.
Yes.
Imagine being going to the Kingdom Hall and you're not a Jehovah's Witness, but imagine having parents that are Jehovah's Witnesses,
feel like
and you had to be so perfect, or like, someone's going to judge you or tell your parents.
Are you going to hell versus people I've never had so many people to cast me in hell being in a church. Like, it's so many people in the church will cast you. Oh, you going to hell because you did this before you got married.
You're not supposed to be drinking while you're in church.
We are humans having human-like experiences.
But them same people have so many, what they say, bones in the closet. You know, that's why I said, how can you tell and condemn somebody to hell when you got a whole skeleton full in the closet? So to me, that never made any sense. How are you going to judge anybody?
Like,
you know, you like, oh, you gonna go to hell? You did this, and what was you doing last weekend? Well, because everything wrong.
The last person
you go by the book, everything wrong, everything. So don't even have no impure thoughts.
The last person told me that I was not the things that I do is not pleasing of God, and that I was going to hell. I told them to pull out the Bible and show me where I am going to hell.
They did magic back in Bible times. Come on now.
Exactly.
I told them to pull out. I said, show me. I said, because, you know, we are programmed by society. You know, do this way. You know, after 2 years of dating, you got to get married. You have to get
shacked up in the house.
You have to. It's like, you know, you have to follow these perfect 1 through 10 rules. I'm over rules.
And let's be for real, everybody in that church don't be following the rules.
And then the rules that you have
Kingdom Halls as well, and any other different organizations.
Right. But then a lot of the stuff that y'all are just making up rules, because a lot of the rules y'all said is not even in there. That's one of the things that I'll be like, yeah, well, you said this, it say this, and that. No, I've read it several times. It don't say
Several
this. It don't
times.
say
It
that.
doesn't say that.
Somebody once was like the crystals. We praying to crystals and stuff. No, we don't pray to crystals. We do not pray to crystals. I wear crystals. They have properties to them. They come from
Crystals
the
are the
earth.
earth.
But
Yes,
you
they come from the
did
earth.
the Bible.
They're
Did
healing.
you know they're in there on the breastplate? Did you know they were on there on your precious breastplate? You know, when Joseph and carrying the stuff, it's in there.
Raw
A lot of them
crystals,
were in
crystals are in the Bible. It's from the
there.
earth.
Incense,
It just-
your sage, it's in there.
It's all in the Bible.
And just like, for instance, when people go to graveyards, what do they do? A lot of times when they go, they leave offerings. They leave flowers. They might leave your favorite food. The same thing we do to our ancestors. We leave them food that we cook out. We cook for the week. We'll leave them flowers because, of course, they like fresh flowers. We might leave a candle burning. It could be a white candle, chime candle, whatever. We'll leave stuff for them as well. So honestly,
let them
it's the
know,
same thing.
Yeah.
To
It's
let
just-
them know that we
a
were
different time.
here, you know, that
Yeah.
to feel their presence.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the same. You
Yeah.
know, I
Like
look
the
at it,
what?
one sinner is not, one
The holy
sin is not
oil,
greater
Right.
than the
the
other.
oils we make
Right.
is, you know.
And I
it's
think
the
just being led by somebody else, you got to walk your own journey. And just recently, I was looking like on one of those news, and they was talking about how the Vatican had apologized for their part in the allowing Christianity to say that they were the backings to spread and colonize everybody. So, you know, I don't know what you would take here or there, but it's definitely there. If you want to go look it up, you can look it up. He clearly said it. That I don't know if they're trying to distance themselves from something or whatever, but definitely apologize. And that's the Vatican.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know what that means for everybody else or people of
Right,
color.
right.
I don't know if they're trying to come off of reparations or whatever, but nothing is going to ever be enough for all that they did in the
I agree.
name of Christianity.
I
You know
agree
what
with
mean?
you. Nothing's.
So, I mean, I don't know, but I just found that very interesting that now in this day and time, 2023,
2023.
they came out and apologized
Wow.
for their part in that.
So I just, that makes you wonder, like, so how much more are they hiding?
Right.
Oh, come on. Just do some more research. You'll find all
Yeah.
the stuff they're
Yeah.
hiding.
I was like, so how much more are they hiding? You know, I
Yeah.
think society teaches us, and this is just my opinion, just to stay, you know, sleep.
Yes.
Like, you know,
Yes. And
it's
brainwash us and
brainwash,
everything.
You know, they don't want us up.
Right.
But
They
we
don't want
woke
us to
now,
wake
and
up.
I'm going to let the world know.
They don't-
We woke.
Right.
And I'm awakened. And I'm going to awaken everybody
It's-
else
Yeah.
Yeah.
that I can get to.
They don't want you to walk in power. That's
Right.
really what
No.
it is. They don't want you to walk in power.
Not at all.
Because
Not
they
at all.
want control. That's their whole agenda
Yeah.
is the
To
control.
Control.
Yes.
Correct.
And
That's what
if you're
this is all
walking in
about.
power, then you know you can't be controlled, and you're
It's-
going to walk the path that you know that you're supposed to walk on.
That you were led to walk.
Give me some examples on how you stand in your power in 2023.
Well, I'll tell you some of the most powerful thing was for me was actually taking accountability for my own choices, and like that is how I realized that I was creating my reality. Wasn't nobody else doing it. Nobody else is doing it to me. You know, somebody can do things. I'm not saying there aren't what you would say a victim. Somebody can do something to you, but I guarantee you your response to the situation is going to be the creating
That's
of your
everything.
reality.
Your response is
Right.
everything.
Your response.
And I'm learning sometimes no response is the best response.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I am learning that.
Yes.
More and more every
absolutely.
day.
Until at least until
Yes.
you can process.
Exactly.
Because sometimes
Totally
you need to
agree.
take a step back. Let me process first.
That is very necessary to take a step back from
You
certain
know?
situations, just to process it, to make sure that, you know, you're giving the best response that
Right.
you can. You know,
Right.
because a lot of times, you know, us being humans, we always listen just to speak.
Absolutely. But
We
doing
don't listen
that,
to hear people.
Right.
Exactly. And
True.
if you
Yeah.
listen, you'll
can
find
learn
out
a
so
lot.
much more.
So much more. Just just don't talk at all and just listen.
Just listen.
That's a lesson itself.
Absolutely. But I like that. I like the taking accountability. It actually allowed me to let go of so much, because when I took the accountability, I could understand that I'm not that person anymore.
So do you feel like spirituality has changed your life?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I'm such a more happy and positive person now than I ever was, just holding on to. I feel like, you know, when it was more religious, I was just holding on to everything that I did. Oh, woe is me. I'm such a bad person. I did this. I did that.
Mentality. Yeah, that victim mentality.
What about you? Do you feel like spirituality changed your life?
But now it's like,
In
okay,
a lot of ways.
did this, did that. Not gonna ever do that again.
Right.
Not that person anymore. I'm gonna do something
I
different.
learned my lesson from this. Next.
Yes.
I'm gonna just tell y'all, once I really came aboard with spirituality, so much positivity happened in my life. I lost a lot of associates, acquaintances, friends, family members I don't really communicate and talk to anymore.
Yeah.
Do I regret it? No. Because I feel like they wasn't meant to be around. Who's meant to be around you is going to be around you. And I love it. I love my peace of mind, because I wouldn't change that for the world. But I've had so much positive stuff happen in my life, coming aboard and getting more deeper in my spirituality than I did when I was going to church. Because my ex-husband, yes, he did end up becoming a pastor, and I would go to church to support him. And then when I was in the Kingdom Hall, you know, when I was a teenager, younger, you know, I really learned that I'm doing much better being in spirituality versus religion.
Did you feel out of place being in church sometimes? Like you?
I ain't gonna lie, I did. When they do all that loud singing and stuff, I wasn't used to that, because
I
going
love
to
the
Kingdom
singing of the
Hall.
choir.
I'm just
The choir
saying.
singing.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
love to hear me a good choir.
When you go to the Kingdom Hall, we're just monotone. We're blah, blah, blah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was
But then, you know, when you
though.
go to church, you know,
Yeah.
they up, they
Yeah.
jumping,
I
they
like
down,
that church.
and
Yeah.
you know, you start okay, you know, you
Yeah.
get to feeling and rocking, you know. But it was totally different. I had to get used to them being so loud, because I was used to everything being calm and smooth. At the
Okay.
Kingdom Hall.
Yeah, because different. I have been to a Kingdom Hall before.
Yeah, you
Yes,
been there
I
with us.
remember. I remember how they would just stand still
Yes.
and just get the singing with, and then
Yeah.
you know, versus being in a
And we was over
in that
with
church,
1
yeah.
hour.
rocking.
Look, we was
Man.
over in 1 hour and 45 minutes.
We at
I
church,
went to church.
Yeah.
2:45.
I'm looking like, hold up, I'm ready to eat. Church still going on?
Yes.
That's
Wait a
why.
minute, why the pastor don't went over the time?
That's
frame?
why
I wasn't
grandma used to
that.
get up early and cook that Sunday dinner,
Exactly.
because she already knew we gonna be at church all day.
Yeah.
Yes.
And them songs gonna be the same song about 3-4 times though, because
Right.
they gonna bring it back around.
We're gonna bring it back around. Oh, don't let me get the shout.
The shouting.
Oh.
But you know, that's really energy harvesting.
It is. It's the Holy Spirit, which, you know, in the spiritual, you know, we refer to them as spirits. I'm
Right.
like, you know, it's
Yeah.
the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It
In
is the
church,
same
they
thing.
refer to it as the Holy Ghost.
Just
you
all
know?
different terminology, but it's all the same.
All
y'all.
the same.
It's
It's
all the same.
All
Yeah.
the same.
Which is
It's
why we
different
should be able
terminology.
to communicate better.
Yes.
Right.
I think people, you know, Hindu, Buddhism, all of it. I don't see why it is that we can't talk, or like, why can't we just agree
I think
that
because
yours
people
is yours
don't
and
want
pride.
to. Yeah, people don't want to
Pride, too much
process
pride.
that, and I think people don't want to process. People don't want to know.
Yes.
They don't
But
want to
it's-
have to learn to relearn.
that part.
But you can learn from everybody.
Yes.
Even
I
if it's what
agree.
not to do. You
I
can
agree
learn
with you.
something from
Yes.
everybody.
I agree with you.
Totally agree.
I mean, that's crazy. That's what I agree. I like
I
to
just
learn.
feel like some people, not all, are lazy. They don't want to do the research. They
Yeah.
don't want to do the reading. They don't
Yeah,
want
because
to
in
learn.
the beginning, I didn't like reading the books. I was just like, oh, okay, let me just go call up
I
somebody.
loved it.
But no, I had to
Yeah.
read, you
Yeah.
know,
You gotta read.
because everybody version
It's
was
different.
It's different.
So true.
Yeah. And I think when you read it, that God within you will tell you what you're supposed to know.
What path you're supposed to follow.
Exactly.
Because everybody paths are
It's
not
different.
the same. It's
Exactly.
so
Please,
different.
y'all, let's learn this. Everybody's path is
It's
different.
absolutely different.
Nobody path is
It's
the
the same.
same. Only if you know how many times I have to repeat and say this. But yes.
So many times, because I have people, well, why am I not, you know, do on this level just yet. You know, you can do this or you can do that. I was like, you know, there is a lot of beginner stuff that I'm still learning.
Right.
It's like I'm forever
You're
learning.
learning.
It's
Yes.
no right or
Day.
wrong way.
You learn every day.
Absolutely.
It's no right or wrong way to
At all.
spirituality. You
Yes.
you're led to do certain things. And I noticed, like, each time, like, if it's a lesson sent my way, once I learn that lesson, I feel like I go to a higher
Right.
dimension. So as I have these lessons and I pass these tests, it's like, you know, I get more energy.
Right.
I get a better glow.
Exactly.
And I'm ready to go to the next level. And I'm able to help other people out with what I learned back going through that lesson.
Exactly.
So as y'all see, spirituality versus religion, it's not really that different. It's just different terminology overall.
It
I
is.
mean,
It
just
really
different
is.
things that we learn to unlearn, and you know, it's different.
Yeah.
But with that being said, y'all got any questions?
No other
ready to wrap this up?
questions. If y'all have any questions, drop them in the comments.
Yeah.
Let's
Drop
talk
'em
about
down
it.
below.
Absolutely.
That's what we're here for. Let's
We're here to
talk about
discuss
it.
and talk.
Nothing is right, nothing is wrong.
Exactly.
We all learning.
Yes. Absolutely.